Hey guys, your humble host. So this is gonna be a different video because I need a distraction from the stuff that I've been currently involved with. I need something less serious, less so heavily burdened. Okay, so I was poking around in some of the videos of an old community that I used to be a part of, and I found somewhat of a chain to where one video was done and another video commented on that video, causing the first one to reply back, and so I have gone through and watched all of these, and the two videos, or rather this chain, involves two users, Dylan Thomas and the Nation of Johnny K, aka Loudon Styles. Now, I just wanted to say a few things, and yes, I'm poking my nose into this because, like I said, I need to get my brain off the Daddy 05 stuff and do something different for video because, oh my gosh. Anyways, Dylan, I'm not sure what the big deal is with having the name CC apply to that particular community. As far as back as 2011, because that's when I came onto YouTube myself underneath the name Korshal and then Hidden Chambers, and now the Chambers of My Heart. The CC, the name, or the commentary community, is what this community has been known for quite a few years and possibly even earlier before I even discovered it and tried to become a part of it. No, this is not going to be a bashing video. Anyway, Dylan, the other communities are the higher ranking communities, such as the roasting community, which is what Leafy, H3H3, and Pyrocynical are part of. That's called the roasting community because they sit there and they roast people. And then you have the ranting community. I don't know any ranting members because I don't watch any videos by that community. And then you have the community that I associate with and am a part of, which is the skeptic community and the anti-SJW community. So, because I've had to explain my origins, because I've been asked how my channel got started, I've always had to explain what the CC is, or the commentary community, because the other communities, which is skeptic or anti-SJW, or ranting, or roasting community, usually don't have any idea in hell what I'm talking about. I have to explain what the CC is. I have to explain what the commentary community is. So, you trying to tell people that they cannot have that name, how dare they dub themselves with that name? Dude, get your head out of your ass. Better get the stick out of your ass. I don't know what the arrogance is for. That community has always been known as the CC, and when people think of the CC, they think of Boonstick, they think of Hobbs, TOG Professor, Retsu Prey, some people even think about Mr. Bedeker. So I'm not sure what the big deal is. And as for the alt, because I know that me and the alt fought. My question is, what exactly did the alt do besides stir up shit? You know, I've said it once and I'll say it again. When it came to the alt, I was actually really excited for it because it was something new. It was something refreshing. The logo looked kick-ass, the people in there seemed pretty cool, and then once I got in, it just seemed to be a bunch of shit talking. And suffice to say, my video, because it was Robots Over Flesh, which was a video done on Angry MGTOW and his sex robots video, was the first video to be put on the channel, but after me being booted for revealing that you guys were leaking private chats that did not belong to you, that belonged to someone else, I removed my video from said channel. Now, something too, because I did point this out to someone else, is I was very nice about removing my stuff from said channel, and I could have been a real ass and just terminated the stupid thing. But, you know, I had high hopes for that channel. I had high hopes for that group, but all you guys did was stir up shit. And you know what? I even sat down with Dark Scythe and talked about what was going on with that group, and we both laughed because I told him straight to his face was that the group was shit because of the prepubescent boys that he had in there, and that it wasn't really gonna go in there because they weren't really picky with the members. Now, what happened? From what I heard after I left, there was some infighting. I saw some sort of poll on Dark Side thing, like who should get kicked out. It was between you and, oh, for the life of me, I cannot remember the dude's name. But anyway, that poll was on there, and then I heard Dark Scythe left, the Conundrum left, the other dude, Mr. Inferno, there you go, got kicked out, and then Just a Robot left. I'm not sure when. But so you had all these people leaving, and I remember Just a Robot even saying in one of his videos that he was going to eventually leave the group. He just wanted to try it out. But the group went to shit. You guys really haven't done anything. You guys, at best, have just molded into the CC, or rather, how you say, grain yourselves into the CC. You just became another branch of the CC. You guys are really nothing different, or rather, you guys weren't anything different. You know, even after I got kicked out, I actually got excited again because I saw the revamp of the channel, the members of the group being kept a secret, which I thought was cool, the new look of the channel, you couldn't really tell who was talking. I thought that was all cool. But once again, no videos, no new videos, nothing, nada, zip. You guys haven't done anything. And another thing I want to cover, because I did watch like all the videos, Loudon's videos, and then your videos. Loudon does have a point. It has been the same shtick over and over and over again with the CC. The same problems are still around. The players are different. Now, some of the variables are different. From what I've seen, from when I was a part of it, we didn't have the doxing stuff going around, which that was like scary back then because that was legitimately a thing. But it's the same old problems. It's the same old stupid drama. And no, I'm not here to bash anybody because I was a part of some of those dramas, and for that I apologize. I've had a rough 2 to 3 years, and so I let my anger bleed out in a lot of places, and I shouldn't have. I should have kept a lid on it or just like walked away, but I didn't, so I do apologize for that. And real quick, because I'm trying to get in contact with TOG Professor and Lady Phoenix 7777 and possibly Gen Rome. The situation that I'm involved with now kind of had me thinking to how things ended back in September 2016. So if I can sit down and get a conversation, a humble conversation, no anger, no nothing, just, talk things up, because I think I might have scared some people, mainly Lady Phoenix, and yeah, if I could mend that somehow, that would be great, because, yeah, at least patch things up. That would be awesome. Anyway, back to what I was saying. But yes, the same drama has been unfolding again and again and again, and sometimes it's over stupid shit, sometimes it's over DeviantArt, what have you. I'm not here to bash the topics, and something I will say, because I know back then I complained a lot about how the CC didn't cover heavy topics, and I'm now starting to realize why they don't. And this is not a bash, this is actually me taking in all that I've been a part of and what I've come aware of what's going on in YouTube. But covering lighter topics, just shooting the shit, making fun videos, I can see why you guys do that. And it's because when you do dig into the heavy stuff on YouTube, and this reason may not be for everybody, but maybe for a lot of you, when you dig into the darker stuff of YouTube, child abuse, pedophilia, um, sexual assault, that sort of thing, it gets depressing. It gets mentally and emotionally taxing, especially if you were a victim of that sort of stuff in the past. So in a way, I'm kind of starting to appreciate the lighter videos you guys did back then. Yeah, the drama's petty, but you know what? I'm coming back and I'm really looking at going, hey, you know what? I see why they don't do the heavier stuff. I see why they do like the Pokemon stuff and even the DA stuff and just some of this, I don't want to call it stupid, but let's call it lighter stuff, if you will. So I can see why that's very much done. And I'm starting to get, in a way, appreciation for it because having your head constantly in the darker stuff of YouTube, whether it be pedos, child abusers, what have you, it can get really depressing. So I'm starting to have an appreciation for that. The lighter videos that the CC made, and I didn't realize what I was bitching about back then, which was rather invalid considering the past year or so on YouTube. But with that aside, I just wanted to point out that observation, if I will. But anyway, back to you, Dylan. Here's something I want to lay out to you, and this is something that I believe, and let me explain why. And once again, this is not a bashing video. The CC commentary community, it's always going to be named that. It's always going to be known as that. It's not really going to change, Dylan. And here, let me tell you why it's not going to change. Because either this is people just starting out on YouTube. I consider the CC as a starter group. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that. It's people learning how to make videos for either the first time, learning how to pick topics apart for their first time. You know what? There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, there's going to be a bunch of petty stuff involved, but the CC is a starter group. Now, are there people who leave the commentary community? Yes, you have Mr. Medicare. I left. I believe FNGR was one of these people, and if I'm wrong, I apologize. I thought he was part of the CC back then. Could be wrong. Apologize if I am. I believe the Black Buster critic was. I do kind of remember the drama slightly with that. Anyway, though, but you have had people leave to go on to do other things. Now, and you've also had people stay, and you know what? I'm starting to realize that's okay too. It's okay to stay in that and make videos that fit the community. And you know what? That is perfectly fine. And the thing that you keep trying to say, oh, well, the alt CC tried to change the community. No, you guys didn't. If anything, you guys made things worse for the community by starting a bunch of drama. More particularly with doodle tones. And I'm not going to go into that, but I'm just saying, you guys really, or the alt CC really didn't do anything. Now, it would have been nice to see this channel go up and flourish and be something completely new. But you know, Loudon does have a point, and he is right with this, where many groups have popped up. They've had their limelight for a while, others have completely fizzled out when they first began. Like you had Blaze Blue Comms. Bop is still around, but Bop has gone quiet because either members are busy or no longer active. You have Sock, which isn't really active. You have Odd, you have Dove. You have the alt. I believe there might have been, oh, Federation of the Exalted or Fox. You have that one. That one's not really active. You have, the CC is known for having these groups come and go, and it's going to happen because you're going to have certain people that are want to group up, be known for a certain thing, or be associated with a certain topic, and that's always going to be the CC. Now, you really don't see that in the skeptic community. You really don't see that in the roasting community. I don't know about the ranting community because once again I don't hang around the ranting community, so I don't know if you see that sort of thing in the ranting community. I know you definitely see that in the gamer community where you have let's players group up and they create the big channel for a couple of them to dwell on, but mainly the grouping up I've seen in the CC. the problems of the CC are never going to go away because, like I said, this is a starter group. Some people start here and go. Some people start here and stay here because they don't want to get involved in the heavier shit, and this is just something fun for them to do. So your arrogance and your high horse need to go bye-bye. And you know what? I will admit, because I had my own arrogance back then when it came to the CCs. Like, why don't you guys do something worth doing? What's with all this quote unquote stupid shit? And I'm starting to realize that, not everybody wants to stick their head in some of the deeper stuff. It's fucking depressing. And so yes, there's always going to be petty stuff. Something else, and I see the CC as this as well, because this is why I joined the CC. And I'm not saying this is how everyone is, and I do want to resend, or rather retract some comments I've made back then where calling the CC a bunch of basement dwellers, and so I retract those. Gone, done, bye-bye. Um, but the CC is also a way to connect with smaller channels. It's easier to connect with people in the CC than it is like the skeptic or the ranting or the roasting. And let me tell you why. Because the CC is comprised of more smaller channels than any other community that I've seen. Yes, you have big channels here, like you have Manga Common, you have Hobbs, you have TOG, you have FNGR, you have Ryan Round Mills, you have some of the other ones, including yourself. I can't. Oh, you have Ponder Sprocket. You have Scarlet. So you do have quote unquote what's considered big channels to this community that are like well into their thousands or way above. But it's easier, this community is easier to connect with people, and it is harder to connect with people of the skeptic community. It took me forever to make some connections because there's just so much shit going on in those communities. It's not even funny, and it's sometimes hard to connect with people in those ones. So I do believe that the reason why a lot of people come to the CC is to learn how to make videos, connect with people, just hang out, have some fun. Yeah, there's gonna be petty stuff. There's always gonna be petty stuff no matter what community you go in. And yes, I know that particular problems are acquainted with certain communities, and that's always going to happen. But seeing how this is, in my observation, and I'm not saying this is accurate, this is just what I observed, as a starter community, there's always going to be those problems because you have people who come in who aren't really mature as compared to others. You have different personalities, you have different age levels, and now I know what you're asking. Well, aren't there different age levels in the skeptic community? Yeah, but usually they're adults. There really isn't kids involved. Like with the CC, you have 15-year-olds, you have 17-year-olds, and I know I'm going off on a tangent, but you see my point. There's always going to be the same problems in the CC because of the age range, because people are just starting out here on YouTube. I've seen a lot of comments like, hey, I want to make a commentary channel, or I'm new to this community, I'm new to YouTube, and I want to start doing commentaries like you guys do. I've seen many, many of those comments. So I'm not sure what the arrogance is, but if you really take the time to really look at what this community is, and I'm glad that I'm seeing this because I didn't appreciate this back in, and no, I'm not trying to come back in. This is just me talking about the observations I've had over the past few months, kind of looking back at the way that I handled things, the way that some things went down. So I do apologize for that because that was not in my intent. Um, but yeah, you are gonna have the same problems. Um, and as for just your overall attitude, dude, it's kind of crap. I mean, it really is. I don't know what the high horse mentality is, and I know you brought up Encyclopedia Dramatica, the slideshow community. Um, or commentary community, that doesn't even make any sense because you can apply that to the skeptic community as well. If you watch channels like Undoomed, Sinatra Says, Baring, The White YouTuber, Gemini, Danny Dingo, those can be considered slideshow commentators, which doesn't make any sense. The slideshow is a common format that many communities use, so that name doesn't even make sense. That name doesn't even make sense on Encyclopedia Dramatica. I don't even know, I don't care, but I'm pointing this out. But anyway, dude, it just chill out. You need to chill out. And one more thing I will point out, because forgive me, this is a long video, but as for the alt CC being open to discussion, that is a fucking joke. Just from my own experience, because a live stream I got in with, and this is water underneath a bridge, but this is a past example of how the alt CC was. I got jumped on in that live stream. That was not a discussion, that was a free for all. And as for you specifically being open for discussion, talking problems out, you don't practice what you preach. Because I don't know how many times I tried to contact you in the past to talk about what happened between us, because when I did try to talk to you over Twitter, you mistook something I said to where you took away from it that I was accusing you of sexually harassing me and you blocked me. You didn't even read the tweet afterward, dude. I couldn't get a hold of you. I still can't get a hold of you. I think I tried to tweet at you one more time after the block, but I can't get you to respond. No, you pick and choose who you want to talk with. And I understand I was angry back then. Yeah, like I said, it's been a rough 1 to 2 years, even 3. I've had a lot of shit to deal with, and I'm not excusing my behavior, but I'm just telling you where a lot of that anger came from and where a lot of my bitey attitude came from. So, but once again, you do not practice what you preach. And that's all I'm really gonna say to you. You need to cool it. Just, appreciate the CC for what it is, and that's something I'm learning how to do because I am poking around the videos here again because I need a distraction. I need to get my brain off of what I've been involved with, and that's not poor me. That's like going, hey, you know what? I need to go find something kind of fun, kind of entertaining, and just something different at the moment. So, and this is what I'm doing. So anyway, to my new subscribers who have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, I apologize. This has to do with the little community that I'm a part of, or excuse me, was a part of. And yeah, I just wanted to give my 2 cents on something I came across. So it's me sticking my nose into something, so bite me. Anyway though, yeah, that is my video, and once again, I am trying to get a hold of TOG Professor, Lady Phoenix, and possibly Gen Rome. Yeah, to just clear up what happened back then, because I don't like the way things ended, and I'm not saying I'm innocent, so, because I was, like, very angry person. But anyway, y'all have a nice day. I will talk to you guys later.